My wife and I had 10 years of infertility. About 8 years into this journey, we got to a place we thought it was finally come together. There's no reason we can't have children naturally. And then we found out I had fertility problems. And it felt like running a marathon and getting to the end, only to be told, oh no, you've got to do it all again. And this time you've got to do it backwards. It's going to be more difficult. It was a real kick in the gut. And it really sent me on this spiral, this internal spiral of really questioning a lot of things about life. And it helped me see that so much of my life I was living I'll be happy when. Starting as a kid, I'll be happy if my mum was happy. If I do the right thing and don't get shouted at, I'll feel more loved. And I became a classic people pleaser. And it was that moment in my life when I was really reflecting on life as a whole, I realised how I wasn't really happy in life. I was drifting. I had a very successful career, but I drifted in my career. I got promotion after promotion because people wanted me to work with them. I got asked to go for this particular job. It's nice to feel wanted. I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to create, where I wanted to be. I just kind of drifted. I was creating the life I thought I should be living, rather than one for my heart and my soul. And I can see that some of my clients that feel stuck or frustrated or feel like they're drifting in life. And often we drift, I think, because we tolerate stuff. It's not that painful and difficult. We desperately want to change it. There's discomfort for me. It was a very, very well-paid job. It wasn't stressful. There's so much good about it. But it just wasn't me. And I couldn't avoid that niggle anymore. But I tolerated it for so long. I got to the stage where I realised I don't want to be on my deathbed and have regrets. And I come to see that the vision for my work is to help people come home to who they truly are. To live a life aligned to their heart and their soul, not a life they think they should be creating. When I realised that I'd been drifting in life and I wasn't truly happy, I took myself on a silent retreat. I've never done that before in my life. Now I love silence and retreats, but it was the first time I'd done that. And it was spring and I was staying at this convent with a bunch of eccentric nuns. And the beautiful gardens, I spent hours just sitting in these gardens. And a lot of rabbits and baby rabbits around. And at one point this nun came up to me in the garden with a little bundle of fur in her hands, and one of the cats had caught a baby rabbit. And she said, "Can you deal with this?" My initial response was annoyance. I've been disturbed in my retreat. But I looked down on this baby rabbit. Its eyes were closed, it was panting. I couldn't see any signs of external damage, but I'd imagine there was internal damage, and it was just lying there panting, and I just felt it wasn't going to survive, and I started to cry. I didn't want this little rabbit to die not knowing it wasn't loved. I wanted to know it was loved in that moment. I didn't want to die alone thinking it wasn't loved. And I started sobbing. And of course I soon realised it wasn't about the rabbit. It was about me. That part of me didn't feel loved for who I was. I just wanted to feel loved. That all my life I've been working really hard to prove I was worthy, I was lovable, I was good enough, to avoid judgment, to avoid rejection. And that was a turning point in my life. And I left that space realising that I spent so much time protecting my heart. I needed to open it. Open it to receiving love. Open it to receiving life. Open it to find out what I want to create. And I left that place, and follow my bliss became my mantra. What feels good? What feels like play? What makes me feel alive? And I started doing different things, doing different hobbies, and just started to play more in life, to find out who I am. And that led to me completely changing career, retraining, and now I get paid for being me, and I love it. So I see my work is to help people come home, to know they're worthy, to know they're loved. I was part of a church for so long, and I loved the community. One of the things I really found challenging was it's all about this external deity. It felt disempowering in some way. But I really believe there's a God within us. I do believe in a loving energy of life, but I believe there's a God within us. And for me, it's coming back home to that. I think our soul is a unique expression of spirit. I want people to come home. I want you to come home to who you are, to feel free to be you, to express yourself, to know who that is, and to create the life that inspires you from that space. To be you in everything you do. So that's my wish, that's my work, that's what I want to create. So my wish for you is that you are home. You can create a life that inspires you. You can see through the contaminated thinking we pick up over the years that hide and mask our true self. The stories, the illusions that are so plausible and so realistic. But they're habitual thoughts, they're not who we are. We're like a diamond, perfect, unique, precious. And over time, sometimes life throws mud at us and it sticks because we internalize it, we make it about us, we think it's about us, especially as a kid. And we forget that we're not the mud. We don't have to polish the mud. We don't have to work hard to polish the mud. We can just see it's mud. And we can come back to our true self. We can come home. We can remember who we really are and create life from that space, from the inside out. Let's also leave you a question. What are you tolerating? What are you tolerating? Where are you drifting in life? Where are you drifting in life? And perhaps it's time to come home. Loving you.